Hello, beautiful specimen, and welcome back or to my channel. And today I am here with, yet again, my husband. He is going to be reading more Reddit stories while I am doing a fall type look since it is past Halloween.
Am I the a-hole for letting my stepmom embarrass herself at my wedding? My 25 male parents got divorced when I was 7. My mom left my twin brother Jake and I with my dad. Soon my dad remarried to Ashley. Remarried, and Ashley came into our lives. She made it clear from the start she wanted nothing to do with us, and my dad soon started ostracizing us as well. When Ashley became pregnant, my brother and I were treated as maids for the kid. This and that, fine. Both of us worked hard, got a full ride to a very prestigious school, and were out of there by the time we were 18. Good on you. Fast forward to 25, I'm getting married. Jake wanted me to call her dad. I said fine because it was the only request he made. But I said firmly that under no circumstances was Ashley to show up. Well, Ashley showed up, wearing her old white bridal dress. The kicker? There was no bride at my wedding. I'm marrying a man. The dress code was all black. The only one wearing white was my husband's dog.
Hell yeah.
Ashley and my dad were furious. I doubled over in laughter, and guests were laughing too. Ashley accused me of embarrassing her publicly. I told her that she hadn't been invited, and maybe she should go sit with the dog because that was where she belonged if she was wearing white. Jake and I thought the whole thing's hilarious, and my dad's side of the family is super pissed at me, boycotting me on social media and calling up to yell at me. Am I the a-hole?
No.
That's just hysterical.
She wasn't invited. She showed up anyway. She wore white, and the only person wearing white was the dog.
Bro, it's like...
It's fair.
I mean, your dad could ask questions, like, if your dad was ostracizing you, like, I wouldn't even... I'd be like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, he ostracized us. He wants nothing to do with this, so he's not invited either. Like, he doesn't even know I'm gay, kind of thing.
I mean, It was her choice to wear white. And she knows wearing white to a wedding is...
illegal.
Well, it's not illegal, but it's very, very frowned upon. And she decided to do it anyways. And she was expecting to get all this attention when she ended up looking like the dog. That is... You shot yourself in the foot there, Ashley.
Stepmother. Am I the a-hole for telling stepsis to get over herself and people aren't required to be miserable just because she is? Ooh.
Fair.
Stepsis Savannah is dead set on this fantasy that her bio parents would be together if not for my dad, which is not the case at all. Savannah still won't open up even when I've tried everything to connect with her. Basically, it's always like this. I invite her to do something that I know she'd like. She'd rather stay home. I got her a gift. She doesn't want it. Throws it away right in front of us sometimes. I sent her a funny video. She's flipping shit with her mom. She's flipping with her mom, Jane, because she thinks the video is about her and accuses me of making fun of her. Basically, Savannah's made it clear for 2 years now that she wants nothing to do with me, so I've given up and just stayed away from her. I mean, I would too.
Mm-hmm.
My younger stepsis did want to have a bond, so we spent a lot of time together. Last straw with Savannah was when I invited them to have a sibling day with friends. Savannah said she didn't want her bio sibs to go. Step sibs wanted to go, and parents approved, so we went. Savannah told me off when I got home because they're her bio sibs and not mine. I'm so fed up with her at this point. I told Savannah to get over herself. You're 15, not 5. Go ahead and keep ignoring your therapist and staying in your delusion where my dad is evil and ruined your family. But the world doesn't revolve around you, and people are allowed to move on and be happy even if you decide you want to be miserable all the time. Dad asked me if something was up because Savannah was obviously mad and causing issues for everyone later, which is when I explained what happened. Dad basically says he knows we're frustrated with Savannah, but my delivery was mean. No, it wasn't. I think Dad's getting too sensitive and coddling Savannah because even Jane is on my side. Savannah has a therapist but never listens to them, and it's been years. Savannah is going to be a legal adult in 3 years, and I think somebody needs to set her straight. She's trying to force everyone else to be miserable, but nobody is going to tolerate that once she's out of school.
Yeah, she's gonna have a rude awakening. Like
Yeah.
I was gonna say she needs therapy, but she's already getting therapy,
She's
so
listening to her therapist, bro.
I
That's
think she
hard.
needs more intensive therapy to actually be able to. Okay, that's excessive. But to actually be able to talk herself through what she's going through, because she's clearly going through something in her head. Granted, she's also a teenager still, and there is the teenage rebellious phase that is quite common, especially in girls her age. But if she continues the way that she is, she's going to have a very rude awakening once she's in the adult world.
Ain't nobody care about your feelings, bro.
Ain't nobody got time for
Ain't
that.
nobody care. This was kind of interesting. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband that if he wants to say he does everything, that he can go ahead and prove it?
That's fair. That's fair.
I, 25 female, have been married to my husband, 29 male, for 5 years, and I am... Huh? What even is that word? Anyway.
What word?
S-A-H-M.
S-A-H-M?
Mm-hmm.
Sham?
I don't know. I'm a mom to 2 kids, 4 female, 1 male. So 4 years old, 1... Okay, that sentence is just weird. Anyway. Well, I was making breakfast this morning, and DH was breaking down boxes so he could take out the trash and recycling that had piled up over the last week, while we were all busy with Halloween activities. A box filled with packing peanuts got spilled when he picked it up, and one comment from him and spilling them ending up turning into a big argument about how I don't help with the chores around the house. For the record, the only 2 chores we agreed would be his responsibility were dishes and taking out the trash. Every once in a while, I will ask for help with changing a diaper or feeding the kids the food I've already prepared. But the 2 main chores he has are dishes and trash. I take care of the laundry. I take them places during the day for their education and entertainment. I try to fit a load of dishes in during nap time while our daughter eats lunch to try and help with it. And eats lunch to try and help with the dishes. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, I guess. Our daughter eats... Well...
Restart.
Are starting to get out of hand. And sometimes if he's particularly tired after a day, he'll ask me to help with the dishes so he can go to bed. Unfortunately, for the past week, both the trash and dishes went neglected while we were running around doing Halloween activities with the kids. So in the argument this morning, he claimed that he does everything and has to beg me to do even just 1 load of dishes a month. And now he's told our daughter that I am being sarcastic because I left to go eat my portion of breakfast I made for the family in our bedroom while he finishes figuring out how to get all the trash taken out. Do a load of dishes, feed our son eggs I made, and find a way to entertain our daughter and keep both kids out of trouble while he's busy. And that's still not everything I do, because I managed to find a minute to do the kids' laundry earlier this week, and I'm the one that made breakfast before the argument started. Am I the a-hole for letting him prove he does everything if he's going to claim it?
No. If you were doing all this, doing stuff for the kids, and all he had to do was take out the trash and, what was it, the dishes?
Mm-hmm.
And do the dishes, and he neglected to do so, yet everything else was getting done, with the exception of some holdbacks because you have children and it's Halloween and there's festivities for Halloween and they obviously celebrate it. Far from the a-hole, he deserves a wake-up call, and I don't know if that's just me being rude, but he deserves a wake-up call, and that is exactly what he is getting.
And my thing is, okay, you do everything? Alright, cool, I'm going to go sit on that couch and watch my shows, and you can do everything. Good sir.
Our agreement is pretty much that I'll cook and you'll clean.
Yeah.
So, like, you do the laundry and you do the dishes and the trash. I'll clean up around the house. But I also cook, so you do the other things. That's just our agreement. That's just what works for us. But if he's claiming, I do everything around here, you don't do anything, and she's taking care of the kids, and yada, yada, yada. You tried taking care of the kids and doing everything that she was doing the laundry, doing all of this extra stuff that she was doing that you didn't have to do. Tell her she doesn't do anything. Okay.
I would just sit my happy butt on the couch and just be like, I'm gonna go watch my shows then. If you want to claim it, go ahead and do it, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, this one was already deemed not the a-hole. We're gonna read it anyway. Am I the a-hole for refusing to spend my savings to bail out my siblings from debt?
How bad are her siblings?
Well, we're about to find out, but it already sounds bad. My sibling recently approached me asking help with their financial situation. Apparently, they've racked up a ton of debt over the past few years from emergency purchases and lifestyle choices. Lifestyle choices. Choices is what I was about to say.
Nice.
They've been struggling to manage it, and now it's at the breaking point where creditors are contacting them nonstop. Well, maybe...
What were these emergency purchases?
That's what I'm saying.
What makes them emergencies?
That's what I'm saying.
And why couldn't you pay for them normally?
I know, right? I've been careful with my money, working hard and saving for years to build up at least a bit of a safety net for myself. Not rolling in cash, but I've got enough to set aside to feel secure. When my siblings asked me for help, they weren't looking for a small loan. They wanted me to clear out nearly all of my savings to cover their debts. They argued that families should help each other and implied I was selfish for not wanting to help them get out of this mess.
I argue that families should take care of themselves. Like, you have your own family. Once you're married and have kids, that's your family now. Your other family is now your extended family, and they are not your responsibility, nor you are theirs.
I've tried suggesting other options like talking to a financial advisor or consolidating their debt when they've brushed those off, saying that they take too long and that I was their only real option. They even got my parents involved, who are now pressuring me, saying that family is more important than money, and that I should do this because I'm the responsible one. I feel for my sibling, and I understand they're in a tough spot, but it doesn't feel fair to me to sacrifice everything I've worked for, especially when I had nothing to do with our financial choices. And now I'm being called heartless and cold by my family. I'm starting to wonder if I'm being selfish for holding on to my savings.
No, you're not. Actions have consequences, and if they needed to learn that the hard way, they learned it the hard way. That's their fault. You gave several good options, and talking to a financial advisor was one of them. And they refused. They just wanted you to bail them out, so that way they didn't have to deal with the consequences of their actions and choices. From what you've said, OP, they didn't give you adequate reasoning for why these purchases were necessary, what exactly was necessary about them, none of that. They didn't give you any of that to even validate you giving them money and bailing them out of their problems and their choices. So, I don't know. I wouldn't do that for my siblings. I love them to death. I would not do it for them. Would you do that for your siblings?
That's like me right now with the financial situation that I'm in. Like, it's not pretty. I'll admit that. That's like me right now calling my sister and be like, hey, can you pay off my car loan? Like, no.
Your sister couldn't even afford that if she wanted
right?
to.
It's like, no. It's like me calling my grandpa or Ramel and being like, hey, can you pay off my credit card loan so I can have? It's like, that's $1,500. Number one. So it's not that hard to pay off. It's just a little responsible. I hate to admit, but
I'll admit it. You're terrible with money.
Yeah, I'm terrible with money. But still, that's like asking my family to bail me out of my stupid decisions. Like,
I already bail you out of a lot. But I am your wife. I'm not your sibling. I'm your wife. It is part of my responsibility since we are one.
Technically, it's not. But you just take it. I appreciate it.
No, I could leave you high and dry if I really wanted to. But am I going to do that? No. We made a commitment to each other because we're married, and that's not how it works. No, we're not. Okay, you have a food baby. I get it.
His name is Julius.
Julius?
He's due in 2 weeks.
Okay. It's probably due today.
Probably. Alright, this one's different from what we were reading. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she's an unwanted guest? Okay.
I'm gonna say no because the moms of Reddit, I swear, have been terrible.
Yeah, some of these moms are terrible. Well, let's read here. My wife had a stressful time at work and was looking forward to a vacation with at her grandparents' cabin. She bought a few books she wanted to read, and I brought my fishing rod. Okay. She had no plans to entertain. My dad stopped by to go fishing. It was supposed to be just Dad stopping by for the day, but somehow my mom inserted herself, and I was shocked to see her. My wife had no plans to entertain her. I told my mom that. My mom bought stuff for lunch and dinner and tried to engage my wife into making dinner for us and for us all, and my wife said no. She's relaxing and reading. If my mom wanted to cook, that's my mom's prerogative. My dad and I get back late at the table, and at the table my mom started to complain how she did all this all herself. I looked at my wife, who just took her plate and ate it in her room. My mom started to complain to me about it, and I told my mom she technically wasn't invited, and my wife had no expectation to entertain her in my wife's cabin while my wife is on vacation. My mom started saying, well, she shouldn't have come if she knew that. I told my mom next time to take the hint. If you aren't invited, don't come. My parents left after dinner. Mom complained that my wife should have tried to be gracious hostess, and I said maybe my mom should try not being an unwanted guest.
Okay.
Speaking
to her like that is a little excessive. Yes, it's a little excessive. Like, she just wants to be part of the family, but I have a feeling that there is a lot more that OP did not add in.
Let's see if there's an update here.
Because if the mom does that all the time, where she's expecting this, then yes, she's the problem. But if she just did that because she wanted to spend quality time.
Okay, so now I'm actually confused. Like, not to interrupt, but it's
what?
Like Reddit has dubbed this story a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
But the comments are like congratulating the wife for like sticking up for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then OP was like, my mom thinks reading is boring, so she thought she was doing my wife a favor.
Yep, there we go.
And it's like,
there we go.
I love reading. My dad loves reading. Like, we read all the time.
I like the concept of reading. I don't read. I can't. I will sit there and read for hours upon end, set it down, maybe pick it up one more time and read hours upon end, never pick it up again. Don't know why, but I physically, I just can't. It's not that I don't like the book or the storyline or anything like that. I have only finished maybe 5 or 6 books ever. And it's not that I don't like the books.
Meanwhile, like, clear entire bookshelves.
I would just rather watch it rather than read it, even though I know that I might get some hate for that, but I would rather watch it instead of read it.
I would rather watch the movie based off the book than read the book.
But the books are also a lot better.
Yeah,
and I know that.
So attention spans aren't derived by, because my attention span is crap. But I still, I force myself to sit down and actually, read a book that I enjoy. I read manga mostly, but the novels I have completed.
Okay, manga's not, actual reading,
though. I'm just saying, my attention span goes from reading a novel to go read, a whole, completed box set of a manga, and I read maybe another novel, and that's it. Which is why I get novel versions of certain mangas, because it's I'd rather read a novel version of it than see pictures. Mainly because a lot of them are not work approved. And that's where I do a lot of my reading.
Don't admit that out loud.
Well, Reincarnation as a Slide, some of those pictures are... Some of the pictures are not work appropriate.
Yeah.
Which is why I got the novel version. The anime's fine, but the manga pictures, I love the artwork. The artwork is fantastic, but it's not work appropriate.
Yeah. At least it's not hentai.
Dude.
Borderline.
Some of the stuff, I swear, is borderline. Some of the...
Does it really surprise you, though?
No, not really.
Dudes like you are the ones that read that, mostly.
I'm fine. I don't know what you said.
I said... Okay.
Am I the a-hole for trying to protect my brother from my best friend's crush? What?
Oh, read that one more time.
Am I the a-hole for trying to protect my brother from my best friend's crush?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so I, 21 female, need some perspective here, because I'm really conflicted about my best friend B, 21 female, and my older brother K, 26 male. For context, thank God. My dad left when I was young, and Kay has always been more than just a brother to me. He stepped up and became a father figure, helping raise me and our younger sister, who's 16. Because of that, Kay and I have always had this super close bond. B and I have been best friends since elementary school. We tell each other everything and always have supported each other through thick and thin. B always joked about how handsome Kay is since we were teenagers. I thought it was just playful banter at first, but lately her actions becoming more serious. My younger sister even made a sarcastic comment at dinner the night about B is totally in love with K, and that really got me thinking. So I started paying closer attention and realized B has been trying to get closer to my brother. She's been casually mentioning running into him at the gym and hanging out at cafes near his workplace, and it feels like she's making a real effort without telling me.
That's low-key stalker behavior.
Yeah. This whole thing feels off. Yesterday, the final straw. B came over for a movie night, and in this weird attempt to show off, she tried to flaunt her new tattoo, a wolf head between her breasts, to K. I was in shock. K just laughed it off. I managed to stay calm while he was there, but once he left, I lost it. When I confronted B and told her I didn't want her to be making moves on my brother, she confessed that she is really in love with him. I still stood firm for telling her that my brother is off limits, and then she accused me of being the reason Kay has never been in a relationship, claiming that I've always relied on him since we were kids, and that I'm somehow a burden to him. It's stung because a part of me understands her point, but it feels like I'm losing my best friend over something I think is justified. Now I'm left feeling really awkward, and I'm worried about the rift forming between us. So, am I the a-hole for trying to protect my brother from my best friend's crush?
I don't think you're the a-hole for trying to protect him. However, I do think you're the a-hole for not allowing him to make his own decisions.
Well, this was deemed a-hole, and the comments are like, what exactly are you protecting your brother from? Is your BF a danger to your bro in some way?
She's stalking him.
You just don't want the dynamics of your relationships to change and want to interfere for your own comfort. All young adults, not children, step aside, let the adults figure out their relationships. It's like, yes.
Yeah, so she's an a-hole for being controlling, essentially.
One of them was like, girl, you gotta chill on this and let it play out. Maybe it turns into something beautiful, maybe it's a crap show, but they're both adults.
It's their prerogative to do what they want. They are adults.
So it's like, if she provided reasons on why, it's like, bro, if you're just uncomfortable, so what? I've literally dated my best friend's cousin.
Life's uncomfortable. So that's what I have to say. It's just life's uncomfortable. Get over it.
Ooh, this one is deemed everyone sucks.
Ooh, okay. I'm almost done.
Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that if she wants to go on vacation, she can book her own because she's not coming with us?
Okay.
It's okay. I'm turning 19 in a few weeks, and my parents are taking me to Ireland for like a week.
Oh,
My
I'd love
sister
to
is staying
go.
home with her daughter because neither me or my parents want them with us, because all she normally does on vacation to us is complain. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We were all at the table, and she asked what I was doing for my birthday, and my mother told her we were going to Ireland, and my sister said, am I and her daughter going? My mom kind of looked at her like, are you seriously asking me that? And said no. My sister asked why my mother was basically like, first of all, my sister asked why, sorry I read fast, and my mother was like, basically, first of all, why would we take a 2-year-old on a 6-hour plus flight? And also, it's for my birthday.
Are they in England? Where are they?
Well, they're going to Ireland. I don't know where they're at.
I know, but 6-hour flight to Ireland.
Yeah, they're probably somewhere in the UK. I also chimed in and said I didn't want my niece there because she would ruin the trip, which is maybe kind of harsh, but it's the truth. My sister took offense to this and started playing the victim, was saying I'm always being left out of things, which is kind of true because I've been on 3 vacations this year, and they've all been me and parents. But it's because taking a toddler on vacation changes things, and she's also been on vacation with her friends while her daughter stayed home, so it's not like she never leaves the country. And she's also 26, so I don't know why she would still want to go on vacation with her parents. She kept complaining about it, and I was like, if you want to go, then book your own vacation because you're not coming with us. She got mad and basically called me an a-hole while our parents were still sitting there.
Yeah, OP was harsh, but the child's 2. The child is only going to prohibit certain activities that they can do unless the sister stays with the child in the hotel room or goes and does something else. So there's really no point for her to go. But I can understand why she's hurt about them going and her not going. But it's almost as a begging chooser type story.
I'm sorry, but if I'm going to take you on a vacation, if I am kind enough to invite you...
It was for OP's birthday.
Exactly. If I am kind enough for my birthday to invite you and your kid, who is not even old enough to remember anything, to go somewhere, I'm not going, like, I'm going to go to Disneyland. Okay? Because to be honest, that's easy. It's a simple, easy vacation, whatever. But if I'm going somewhere like Ireland or Japan or Finland or like out of the country, your child and you are not coming with me because all you do is complain, and your child doesn't allow me to do what I want to do because it's a 2-year-old. We can't really do much with a 2-year-old. So if I want to be out all day, I can't do that while you have a 2-year-old because obviously they need to be taken care of. But if I'm going to Ireland, you betcha I'm going to go to just about every bar on the block and drink.
You don't even drink.
I'm just saying like, I kind of agree with OP. Like, she's not the a-hole. It's the sister that thinks that the family revolves around her because...
I would say everyone sucks, because OP could have been nicer about it.
I wouldn't have.
OP could have been nicer about it, being like, look,
this one's dubbed poo mode activated.
What the hell?
I don't even know what that means. Hey, watch language.
Hell's a place.
Am I the a-hole for kind of manipulating my boyfriend? TLDR at end? What?
I don't remember what TLDR means
I
offhand.
don't either, but okay, whatever. Not that I think anyone's gonna see this or that it matters enough to make this, but I'm curious what y'all think. My 18 FTM, boyfriend 18M, always had...
FTM, female to male.
I guess. Always had his nails pretty grown out. I hate this with a passion. I think it's kind of gross, and it just in general bothers me. Not because he's a guy though, but I keep that part to myself, and it's not my place to comment on it or even really have an opinion on it either. However, I'm always nagging him about it ever since almost 2 years ago. Now he scratched me accidentally down there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice it until I ended up with a pretty bad skin infection and landed in the ER and had to be on antibiotics for a week, etc. He was super apologetic, and it was a complete accident, kind of my fault too. I should have known better, but I set the boundary that if he didn't cut his nails, that he wasn't allowed to touch me at all down there with his hands.
Fair.
Fair. He understood and has always been respectful of that boundary and hasn't touched me. Problem is, I want him to, and now that he wants to as well, but he never cuts his nails. He said that his nails are really strong, and every time he tries that he breaks the clippers unless he soaks the nails in water first. I suggested a nail file. I don't remember what excuse he had then. And he usually says he wants them long so he can paint them. But he never does that either. I said maybe he could keep only 1 or 2 short, like a lot of femme lesbians do. He thought that was stupid, and I asked him to at least keep them neat and shaped, but he thinks that he does. He thinks that he does, but he does not. However many excuses he makes, it comes to the method of doing it. He usually says that he will, and he just doesn't. It's not usually a problem, but every once in a while he will accidentally scratch me when we were play fighting, and obviously it hurts. One time he scratched my eye, nearly got my eyeball, and that really hurt. Anyways, the other day I really wanted him for reasons previously implied. He wanted to as well, just hadn't cut his nails like I said before. So I just kept begging and sort of guilt tripping, and then even handed him my own nail clippers. He was over at my place until I had annoyed him enough to finally cut them. I did apologize for that part, and he said it was fine and agreed that he should have done it anyway, so that isn't why I made this post. I know that I'm justified in boundaries I've set. I'm curious if I'm pushing too far by continuing to bother him about it all the time. TLDR, my BF has long nails and won't cut them even though he keeps accidentally scratching me. I guilt tripped him into cutting them the other night. Am I the a-hole? Also, please don't tell me to break up with him. This is just one not so great thing about our relationship. It sounds worse out loud than it actually is. He's not doing anything on purpose. He's accidentally technically crossing any boundaries. He isn't actually technically crossing any boundaries.
If you're going to Reddit about this, there's more to the story. There's more going on. Because you should not go to Reddit and be like, but there's so many more great things and I don't want to leave. Reddit's gonna tell you to leave them. Just saying. Reddit will be rude. Reddit is
Like,
Reddit.
if you have to guilt trip your partner to take care of themselves.
Oh.
He's leaking. That's just sad. Like, if I have to guilt trip you to take a shower, that's just sad. It's just, and it's also disappointing.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't have to, I'm just saying, if I did.
No, I know.
That's just sad.
I mean, if I'm right, and they were saying that he was female at one point, I get wanting to still keep part of that. However, at that point, you probably should just do what... God dang it, this is like... I don't know what happened here.
Well, that, and you set the boundaries, and he continuously just ignores it, so...
Well, I would...
Like, what's that going to be in the long run, if he can't follow the simple boundaries?
If you're breaking... If you're breaking, like, clippers and stuff, go to a nail salon.
Exactly. I mean, but that does get expensive.
Yeah, but you would get them down, and then you can keep filing them from there. They'll be able to cut them down for you. I don't know what happened to this lipstick, but it, like, exploded.
It exploded. I don't know. I don't know, that story kind of just... That's just, okay.
It's a very interesting story, and I am basically done. Just gotta... okay, cool. Just gonna do some finishing touches and be right back. And I'm back with a finished look. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Have a lovely day. Bye!